Alright, hey y'all, it's Pizza. I'm here in Conan Exiles and continuing my noob's journey, as it were. I'd come here looking to build a base, and I have some of these new textures I wanted to check out and see if any kind of worked with each other. I really like these windows, so I thought they might go with this black ice. But I wanted to see the different floors. Like I said, see how they mix and match. But that's not really the point. I thought it was a good place to put a base. We're right out here by the sinkhole. There's a lot of tribes around. Some of them are pretty big, some of them are smaller. And then we're right outside the big Tafari base. On a hill. There's plenty of iron and coal around, so a lot of resources. And I looked around this whole valley and this whole area, and this isn't the flattest space. That's kind of another thing I was trying to check out. Like, where could I put down foundations and spread out? And there's some places, basically just right outside of the Tafari base. It's just huge. Flat area. Fantastic, right? But resource-wise, it's actually not that great. There's plenty of coal and iron all around this area, so that's not really an issue. And rock. The only thing you're kind of missing is like game animals and wood. So I realized over here in this little back section, you've got plenty of bushes for fiber, trees for bark and wood and branches, tons of rock, iron. You do have some spiders for some ichor and chitin. Right in here. And then also another good source right up here. So 3 decent sources pretty close by. You got a water source. There's Mitra. But you could have some fishing traps. But like I said, the big issue is that, except for some hyenas and a few spiders, not a lot of opportunity for hide. More iron. So many spiders. So I realized I could get a good foundation out here. I'd have most resources. The only problem is it's a long trek to where there's an abundance of hide. Like I said, you can get some hyenas around. Few deer. It's not too bad. Obviously, we can skin people, and then well, more and more I look, it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. At least to get started. Yeah, here we go. And there's also this one of these tribes that has the birds, so feathers, and abundance, and eggs. It's not too big a tribe, but they are kind of spread out on this side. And then, of course, where are we there? This way? Yeah. There's a sorcerer's cart and a sorcerer. Plenty of sorcerers around, actually. And another one right up here. This camp's a little tough at the get-go. Me and my buddies could get up here right now and it'd be no problem. Take all that iron coal, too. So, 2 sorcerers, bang bang, right nearby. The reason I say at the beginning, I'm definitely not at the beginning. I put quite a few hours into this game over the holiday. Trying to just, you know, get a handle on it. And I would say at this point I've obtained a very basic knowledge of the game, at best. There. But I'm thinking about doing something that I probably should do. And that is, at this point, start over. I need to start this game over. I need to give up on everything that I've done, even though I've done so much. So many mistakes were made because it's a noob's journey, right? That well, several things. I don't know if I would still turn the purge on or not, but I think that I would definitely want to head in a direction that is assuming the purge is going to come. So I've set my bases up in a more defensible manner. And also start training fighters. Okay, give me the data. Start training fighters like right off the bat instead of waiting until level 50 something. Because that's one of the biggest mistakes. Because I've got like nothing on my fighters. I've even got some good fighters. I got 2 Delencia snow hunters, but they suck. They're so low level, and they need a lot of experience to get up there. So all the fighting and everything that I did, basically, you know, to get up to level 50 something before I started running around with a follower. I could have used them to level up. So yeah. But I just wanted to show you the first homestead, the new base. It has been pretty much cleaned out for my other bases. Except for the stuff I didn't feel like toting around. Or failed experiments. Armor I was, what does this do? But I eventually, when I put down the new carpenter's bench and a furnace, which is the only fuel efficient furnace. I built the heat ones after that. After I learned. But I realized how large these benches were going to start taking up in space. It was definitely time to move. Got a few people left around with a few materials just in case. But for the most part, you know, this is just where everything got started and where I began to learn how the game worked. The training area. Then we moved. To this genius spot. I love it. I probably would build here again. That's the other thing too. It's like, ugh, leave all this behind. We're right on this lake outside of New Asgard. And went with the ramshackle look because I thought it looked cool. I wanted to see. The floors are really nice, actually. I did a little role play. Like I said, there's no purge, but I thought I did have wolves wandering in here. So I thought, well, let's pick up a little bit of defense. Yeah, mostly it's just for looks. But honestly, we do have one of the greatest defenses in Conan Exiles, and that's water. Being as we are the only beings that can swim. Not even alligators, y'all. Not even alligators. But this is the one I set up with the larger altars and equipment in mind. I like the setup. It definitely works as a functioning single player base for the level of what I got going on. Pretty much everyone's named just because I, grabbed the ones that I could when I could. Enos over here. And then I got a bunch from the event, so everybody's pretty much tier 4. I think a couple people are on the low end scale, but yeah. So I built this place with the intention to lay out the equipment in a way that was everything I needed fairly compactly close by, so I could move things around. Get a storage setup going that made more sense, and that could hold a lot more materials, like a lot more materials. Get some fighters and start getting them trained up. So I did that, and I realized, I just want to point out, like this, is working. Base. Oh, Yeah. I was like, where did all my metal go? Although I did cheat those chests in because I just wanted some different looking chests. But I just kind of felt like it was better set up, you know. Oh wow. Yeah. Thank you. Much appreciated. If you're watching. So inside is where all the grindy goodness is. Working on oil. An oil shortage. Been making it at the alchemy bench now too, so that's nice. The grand storage area. It's nice to get a couple more of these. I got a mirror, y'all. Bloop. Took a minute to render in, but I got a cool mirror. Not sure that it does anything. And then the loft that really is just a place for a bed. So I do like the little storage area. I haven't gotten enough to put yet. Working on it. But this spot's dope. So, you know, since I don't have to worry about getting all purgy, didn't need like the strongest of materials. But it's a mess still. You know what I mean? I know that even, you know, now that this is kind of like janky stuff. Like I said, this is just sort of a farewell tour before I... This is a dope setup though. I really like the way this worked out. Just making seeds and... growing plants. I thought this looked pretty nice. Decent little wall, and then I just kind of used the palisades. These little dirt paths. Alright, we'll take you up to the altar area. I really like this material. To me, the minute I you know, put it down, and I did a little, you know, checking when I did, kind of like I was sitting out there in the desert with it, how stuff looked. This I thought would make really good ruins. And it has really good windows. But this is the alchemy area. This kind of got out of hand, but I just thought maybe we some old ruins, repurposed them. So anything up here that is like the storm glass stuff I built, and of course this mess. So I had this cool yard. He was just out here by himself. He or she. And I wanted to try the animal pen. I still haven't. There's not a dang thing in here. Nothing. Next time. This is the wizard's area. I just thought, like I said, I built all these little ruins before I decided to build this wizard's area. But I used the same kind of ramshackle stuff. These are literally the two things I can build as a wizard. I am not a very good wizard. But I have a ridiculous amount of spells because of the event, so... or whatever, not the event. Update. I just needed a map room and it fit over the ball. Set is the religion that I started with. I'll probably do the same thing next time. It's pretty handy. You gotta do a lot of murders, but whatever. You get Poison reduction, yay. The odd guy, though, you get that good flesh. That's worth taking a lot of dead people. Get their little knife thing he's got. I built the vault because I wanted to see if it was worth it. I don't know if it is in single player. But I really had fun building this base. I really don't want to leave it behind. As far as like the functioning, it has worked. It works. It just works. So everything's close enough that even when I'm out encumbered, I can just having these two benches beside each other like this. I can just turn, throw crap in the trunk. This is a little obnoxious. I gotta be honest. I hadn't thought this through completely, but that might need to be changed. But I mean, look at this spot. Oh yeah, can't just jump in the water. Should have known better. That's one of the fun parts of this game. Pizza cannot just jump in the water. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't have that set up here, but I did at the other base, unfortunately. To make all the beers and whatever. Lots of game animals, lots of wolves, lots of stone, lots of iron, lots of coal. I mean, everything. Sorcerer nearby. And elephants somewhere. If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, there they are. In this whole town. It's pretty tough when you get swarmed by them. Base number 2. Looks good at night too. This puppy. Now I had it so I can build anywhere. So if you can't build there, sorry to have teased you. Same thing with this one. Let's see where we land. Now this one I built because I wanted to build it with the one of the new texture packs or whatever. The one that looks kind of... Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh yeah, I built the temple to Zath. It's kind of useless though. I don't really know. I guess I don't have the Isle of Sipta installed. Like, how did I build this anyway? I just forced this in because I wanted to see what you got out of it. And it does have daggers, which without a priest aren't that great. But I do like daggers. So that's why I did that. I figured I'm leaving. Do what I want. Do what I want. So we have another temple set. This time we built it with the whatever texture pack this is. We got our Yogg temple up here. I built this thing to see if you can't. Cool. We got some new workers in training. And not a lot of materials, but plenty of stuff. For this one I wanted to do a different shape, but I also wanted it to be practical, so it's still a big rectangle, but I try to give it some definition. I'm going to try building circle or circular type structures. Let's see how I can get at that. But I did sort of like the pyramid roof just because I didn't want to have like it, completely square again. But yeah, this is sort of like a Roman-esque kind of looking, GNC looking tile, so I mixed in the storm glass windows. Because even though you see these old buildings, they used to have wooden windows and frames in them too. So I thought it fit pretty well actually with this one. Back here's alchemy for the most part. I got like nine. I got like 3 of these Dharma from the event. It's on an event from the update. Yeah, first I went after the black blood picks and stuff and got a crate with all the tools in it, multiples of the tools. And then I put durability on them. And then once I got enough of that and enough legendary weapons, I just started going after people. But there's nothing. There's probably hardly anything on this bench. Man. Got a spare carpenter though. I really like the look of this material. Anyway, upstairs we got the sorcerer's den. Again, I have the 3 things that I can build at this level of sorcery. Thought it'd be cool to stick some archers out here. Some guards. Purely for looks, and then out here I was going to plant all my plants, the lotus and all the different aloe and whatever, but also have it like actually do some decorating, have it look like sort of a garden-y area. I could bring that fountain up here, put some benches down, etc. And actually do a little bit of decorating, which I haven't done. I'll throw some bowls down next to a fire. And again, a nice bit of work, but that's the tough part, leaving it behind, really. But I do know the spot, and I'll probably build here again. There's everything you could possibly need here. Food, hides, eggs, wood, fiber, stone, coal, iron. It's all water. It's all right here. Plenty of people to snag from around, and then of course Supper Maru right outside. So again, I feel like that maybe you wouldn't be able to build up here because you're so close. Oh, and iron in the base. I forgot. It has come back. I doubt it would come back. Actually, you know what? I don't want to pick it up. I want to get rid of it. Can you not get rid of it? Yeah. I was pretty stoked that iron came back. But here's the good news. Let's put that away for us. Quick second. I know what to do now. At least I know what to do to start another playthrough. And I know enough that I should start another playthrough. That it's been a fun journey of building, but I definitely need to focus on my thralls, which is something I just didn't do enough of. So, with the sorcery, and I might learn some of these spells. I mean, I've learned a ton of spells. I just I haven't really used any of them. But use my knowledge of the map. Try to get, some followers, even if they're crap at first. But again, if I can get 50 obelisks, which is not that hard. I mean, my very first fighter could be a Delencia Snow Hunt. So, with a high health pool, maybe high vitality. So, I just seem like the best thing to do. I don't know about that desert base because again, there's not a lot of hide, but it's not too bad. Now that I flew around a little bit and saw that there was more, but it's still looking like quite a haul to get that. And I'm not done. I mean, there's other places I want to build. Obviously, I need a base in the north. This is nice because it's pretty close, but it's not that close. But many good times there's just so much I know that I haven't seen yet. But also have found enough places to realize mistakes were made, man. Mistakes were made. And I don't want to grind like I'm not having fun because my experience is all the way up, but I need these people to level up. Basically, the best way I think to at least begin leveling them is to just take them out and kill alligators and random people and hit small tribes and just let them eat meat or whatever. So, I'm bored. I just kind of run around with them, and I know that's basically what's going to have to end up happening anyway. But I also want to reset my attributes. I made a potion so I could do it. Now, I'll show you what. I just think I think I want to take 5 out of this, although I like glutton for punishment, but I want to take 5 out of this and put it in the strength. Because as dope as the daggers are, I still end up using strength weapons or sword and board, or spear actually is pretty nice for certain bosses. So I always have agility weapons and strength weapons on me. The only thing is, I feel like the first one is cool, sure. Obviously, you're just getting 10% more damage off the top whenever you use those heavy attacks and whatever. But the second one, I mean, I would assume Combo Master. Either one of those would be kind of nice. But I'm also curious to see how much it gives me in carry weight if you put 5 points in. Other than that, I'm not sure what else to do. I definitely want to keep this. Uh, I figure well-trained is probably the better choice, but I want to run around with like eventually pets and people. But since I'm playing by myself, that's why I went with these two trees, because you know I need all the love I can get and vitality. And this one just seems to make sense. And this I did purely to have some more carry weight. I'd probably, like I said, I don't take 5 off this and put it into this. I don't know if I want to take it out of agility. Because daggers are dope, especially if there's daggers that have poison and bleed on them at some point. The Sunder works pretty well. With the right followers. So again, I've not made everything at every bench. I haven't made all the different gear. This gear right now. That's all right, and then it works for me. It just gives me a ton of different perks, some health, some carry weight, etc. Silent Legion, I think is what it's called. Anyway, best armor I could do. That's what I'm wearing, and then I've been playing with the stuff. I forced some Dragon Bones in. Let's see what the Void armor looked like, and it looks cool. What else? I just made some Sumerian. So looking for different armors for my followers, trying different things. And like I said, there's a million things I need to learn about this game. But I think I've learned enough to start over, and that's what I'm going to do. So, all that gathering and farming. All the building, all the planning, all the searching. All the bashing of thralls over the head. All the cheating. I'll miss you. I can't end it here. This base I barely even knew. Go back to what I consider home. Then I'm gonna say farewell. Get a snack. And start over. Now, there is something that I want to do, I'm thinking about doing anyway, and that's why I was kind of out in the desert too. I might turn off the experience and build myself a base. That I can like take over. Because one of the things that I found during, I had hours and hours to play this game, but I don't have hours and hours to play this game for real. I absolutely like farming and gathering, getting on my hides and turning seeds into oil and turning my bark and hickory into oil, and I mean, like, I do all that stuff. I make my alchemical base. Spend a ton through the sorcerers, but the time it takes to grind the materials to build a base like this is just, I don't really have the time to do it. So I think what I'll do is I'll build the base, give myself the basic workbenches, and maybe I'll build, you know, I can build things with those once I get in the game. But I haven't quite, I think I am going to make myself a base. It's large enough and planned out in a way that when I do improve the benches, it'll sort of make sense where they're at. Will fit. And I know I need space for my temples and all that stuff, so. And they can't be like right on top of each other. Oh. So, what the plan is, it looks cool at night, man, I'm telling you. I love this place. To cheat less, but have a base, like I said, set up, ready to go. We'll see what I add in before that, whether, you know, I'll probably throw in a furnace and just a couple of things. I'll go with I found and taken over an old abandoned base. That'll be my role play. But that'll save me hours and hours and hours of grinding materials just to build something, build the base. So I'll just cheat it in and then start the game. And what I was thinking is I'll still do a little time on Noob River so I can level up. And because I will want to use, you know, get some experience from building stuff. So I'll probably build a little new base out there. Get myself maybe up to like some of the, you know, improved benches, I think. And then I'll head out to my pre-planned setup, you know, out wherever is convenient. I mean, like I said, this is a really great place. I wouldn't mind coming back here. Bit of a trek early on. But I definitely would like to be a bit more middle of the map. Because trying to make my main area at the beginning here was a lot of times swimming back and forth through here to get to where everything was. So, and I mean, running up and down this coastline is absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I could get a few named fighters and just pretty early on. I know where the villages are and the, you know, the sorcerer event up in here, so I can go ahead and start getting some obelisks, get myself some nice weapons and tools. And I do know where all the traders for it are, so I'll do that, and then start getting some employees. Purchase keys. Plus, I know how to get to the magic cave. There's a lot of good places to raid early on. The Sinner's Refuge isn't too hard. And then you got the Crystal Cave down here, Cavern of Fiends. So Brimstone here and Crystal down there. So again, I think, but I don't think I'm going to build on this side of the water. I think I'll come up a little bit. So there's a nice little camp right beside it, and a few people right here. So even early on, it's pretty helpful. But you could, I'd rather be on this side of the water. Lessons learned. Boop. All right. Well, that's gonna do it. Goodbye to this playthrough. You were fun. Incredibly educational. I can believe that I've only learned a fraction of what I need to know, for real. Even in just single player. So, I love it. I'm having a fun time. I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to clear this out, build a base somewhere decent, and then, like I said, turn the experience off and then head back to the Noob River, wherever I popped in, and build my little beginning area place. So, alright, I'm out. If you happen to catch this, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And later date or time, thanks for watching. Y'all be good to each other.